Well, hello everybody. Today I want to talk about the different ways that people think. I'm sure if you are around a lot of people or your family and friends and at work, you realize that people think differently. They may not think the way that you do or do things the way that you do them. So that's why I want to discuss the different ways that people think. This will help us in our work. Say you're working on a project with somebody at work, or you're in your friend group or your family setting or whatever, or even your significant other, your mate. Now, if you're with your mate, obviously that's the closest person to you, so you pretty much know how they think, but even just thinking about that can help you with that situation too. So let's think about the different types of thinkers. We have analytical thinkers. They are logical and detail oriented. They focus on facts, data, and evidence. They prefer step-by-step reasoning and solving problems systematically. Those are your analytical thinkers. You may encounter some of those at your workplace also, but there are also creative thinkers or realists. They are grounded in, no, excuse me, they are imaginative and innovative. They think outside the box and come up with original ideas. They often see connections that other people don't because they're thinking in a creative way. These may be musicians or artists, but it can also be anything. This could be happening where you are. If you work in a workplace where everybody's trying to come up with ideas, it's good to have those creative thinkers in your group. Then, number 3, there are practical thinkers. They are the realists. I think I said creative thinkers for the realists, but practical thinkers are your realists. They are grounded in reality and focused on what works. They prefer hands-on experience over theory. They value efficiency and solutions that produce immediate results. Then, number 4, they're your intuitive thinkers. They rely on gut feelings and inner knowing. They often make quick decisions based on instinct, and they can sense patterns and underlying meanings without concrete proof. So those are your intuitive thinkers. Number 5, reflective thinkers. They are deep and introspective. They take time to process thoughts and emotions, often philosophical, and enjoy pondering life's bigger questions. I know some people, I have some friends like this. They are fun and interesting to be with. Number 6, you have your strategic thinkers. They are future focused and goal oriented, good at planning, organizing, and foreseeing obstacles. They thrive in leadership and decision-making roles. Then you have number 7, you have your emotional thinkers. They make decisions based on feelings and values. Highly empathetic and sensitive to others' needs. They often are driven by compassion and personal experiences, emotional thinkers. And number 8, your critical thinkers. They are skeptical and questioning by nature. Analyze information from all sides before forming opinions, and they are good at identifying flaws in arguments and ideas. Now, I think all of those are good people. They're good ways to think. And I guess ultimately it would be great to have 1 or 2 of each of those in your group, right? You could really come up with some good stuff, solve some problems, and do a lot with, if you had all those people in your group, that would be great. But it's no thinking style is better or worse. They're just different. And I think it's different. I mean, it's important for us to realize this. And everybody's not going to think like you. So it's important to understand that there are different types of thinkers and that they're all important. They all have their way of looking at life, approaching problems, and working on things. And it's good to embrace your own style and appreciate other people. And it's just good to think about, because if you go into a meeting or any even a function where it's a pleasurable function where you just get together or whatever. It's good to have this in mind, that everybody is not going to think just like you, and to be open-minded, and if somebody has a different opinion, to acknowledge that, and acknowledge that maybe they thought about it differently than you did, and to not, get your defense up if somebody has a different idea. So I just say, oh, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing your idea. I was just thinking about this because I used to have to be, I haven't worked like that in a long time, but I'd have to be in meetings and where you would have to give your thoughts and ideas on something. And I would just be sitting there thinking about, oh, Joe over there, I know he's going to come up with something totally different than me. And I would put my defense up and think, I got to present my idea, but no, you don't have to be like that. If we could all think this way and work together, I think it would just be such a better place. But, and acknowledging different types of thinkers improves your communication. When we understand how others think, we can communicate more clearly and avoid misunderstandings. It builds stronger relationships. Recognizing thinking differences helps us become more patient, empathetic, and supportive with loved ones, co-workers, and friends. It enhances teamwork. Different thinkers bring different strengths. Teams that value diverse thinking styles are often more creative, well-rounded, and effective. It encourages personal growth. When we understand our own thinking style, we become more self-aware and can work on areas that need balance or development. And it reduces conflict. Many disagreements happen simply because people think and process information differently. Acknowledging this can bring more peace and harmony into our daily lives. And it fosters respect and inclusion. Every thinking style has value. When we honor these differences, we create space for everyone to contribute and feel respected. Anyway, I just was thinking about that today and wanted to pass it along to you. I hope you enjoy this. I would like to know in the comments, what is your thinking style? Let me know in the comments how you are, how does your brain work, and how do you process information? Thank you for watching. See you next time.